Hello there. It always takes me by surprise, these live streams. Hope you're well. Hope everybody's okay wherever you are. It's Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. You know the score. I'm here again, and I'll keep coming back. I'll every week for as long as you want me to. Right, I'll do my normal. You know what I do, normal shizzle, which is just to basically get the guys up on. Hello everybody already. Please leave your comments. As you know, I don't know who's waving and stuff. Unless you actually put your name down, I can't see who's actually watching me live or anything. Right, let's crack on. You know, I always start with some questions now, which is always quite a sort of starter for tens, shall we say? So first question tonight is, what does IP rating stand for? What does IP rating stand for? That's your first question. So leave your answers in the comments at the bottom. We can go back through them as we go through the slides. So first of all, what does IP rating stand for? That's your first one. Oh, by the way, if I'm sounding okay, please let me know if I sound good or bad or anything. That would be really great, because I'd just like to make sure I've got my microphone levels right as well. Okay, right. Next one is, what is the highest rating for IP? So if we're talking about IP ratings, what's the highest rating that you know of? Okay, that's question number 2. And then question number 3. When we're doing this this DVS, the Direct Vision Standard, which is what we're talking about tonight, do we need to install DVR? So do we need to install recording hardware? That's your 3 questions. So I'll just go back through them again. So first question is, what does IP rating stand for? What's the highest rating for IP? And then, do we really need to install DVR, that's recording hardware, when we're doing the DVS, when we're doing it to DVS standards, that's Direct Vision Standards? Okay, so without further ado, we'll go on with the presentation. So hello and welcome anyone. Let's just see who else we've got on board. I think I've mentioned everybody who's left comments. Yes, I have. Anyone else wants to leave a comment and say hello to me? That's lovely. Drop a little hello now. So let's crack on. First of all, a little thank you. Peter, you've been a gem this week again. Thanks very much for Peter at Parksave Automotive. He's helped me out with the presentation, giving me all the info and what have you, the ins and outs on this. So a little bit of an introduction on what this DVS malarkey is about. It's all about Direct Vision Standards, and what it means is that if your vehicle, moving forward, if your vehicle or your heavy goods vehicle or your customer's heavy goods vehicle goes into that blue line, which is the GLA bound or GLA boundary is where it goes into. So I apologise, it's not that. It's basically, if they go inside the GLA boundary, which is the grey area, then they need to be they need to be compliant with DVS, Direct Vision Standards. They need to have their permit for that. Okay, by having that permit, they have to prove that they have done all of the applied all of the safety features that are required for that particular type of vehicle. How it works, the enforcement is to start in 2021. It'll be introduced from the 1st of March 2021 because of the COVID. The start date will be confirmed, though, properly in October 2020, and that will be published on the TfL website, the Transport for London website. And what this is all about is this. What vehicles? It's any vehicle over 12 tonnes which has a low direct vision rating. If you have a look at those 2 vehicles there, I forgot I put myself on here. I'll move myself up there for a moment so that you can see the screen and you can see the 2 trucks there. You can see that 1 is at a very low level, so that's a qualifying low level, doesn't need a lot of work doing to it sort of type of vehicle. I've been told or reliably informed that that is a class 4, whereas the vehicle on the right below me is basically a standard sort of truck, as you can see, and that would fail without, and that wouldn't be able to go into London without the proper equipment. So you can see it's got the sidebars and it's got loads of mirrors, but it would still need the blind spot and the audible alarms and what have you fitted to it. So as you can see, that is a, oops, sorry, slide's gone. That is a class 4 or class 5. The one on the right is a class 2 or class 1, which would mean that it would need to have the equipment that we talked about to avoid the blind spot elimination. So this is what we're talking about here. It's the blind spot cameras and get my teeth out. Blind spot cameras and close proximity sensors. Those are the devices that you need to be thinking moving forward. Then you're going to need the audible alert, which we would fit as well. So that's what we're talking about there. Okay. So for us, this is where we've got the challenge for us, because going back to that, these kits that we're going to have to fit, the blind spot cameras, the close proximity sensors, and the audible alerts. Well, you know, what sort of warranties are provided? Because the thing that concerns me is the permit for this. The permit is going to be 3 years. So as soon as it's on the permit, it's going to last until 2024. In which case, are we supposed to be providing the warranty for that? Are we providing the warranty? And I've got to be totally honest with you. I think that that's what we're going to have to step up to do and provide a 3-year warranty. So the customer, the end user, has got that confidence in knowing that that device is going to work for that level of time. And if we have, well, then we've got to build that vehicle so it's going to last for 3 years. So that, if we're talking about that's the sort of warranties that we're going to provide. And moving forward then, I'm then going to sort of go on about the type of kit that you're going to need to fit and, to accommodate that. So the first thing that we're talking about is what IP rating kit should we provide? How loud should the speaker be? That was a question. Oh, I've just remembered. These are the questions from last week, if you remember. How loud should the speaker be? We did get an answer, but I have actually found some more information. And also, do we need DVR? So the permit is 3 years. So as I say, if we're warrantying it, and I did jump the gun a little bit, we need to warranty it for 3 years. That's only my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, please leave a comment if you think that I'm outspoken there. But I think that if the permit is 3 years, I think the end user is going to want 3 years of carefree driving with his nice big shiny wagon, isn't he? That's all I'm going to say. If people think I'm wrong, then let me know. Tell me. So cameras, sensors. So this is all the external stuff. It's got to be high quality to last 3 years. I think you've got to. I would say definitely got to be CE marked. If it's not CE marked, it shouldn't be installed in the vehicle. And if you don't know that, then please come and see me at the back, and I'll tell you all about it. But the recommended, I would say, is E-marked, so that it's got a better, it would be a better way of doing it on the recommended. IP rating. If we talked about this, was there anyone who gave me the answer? Yes, John Martinez. Thank you, John. Ingress protection. Ingress protection is IP rated. That basically tells you how waterproof and how dustproof the device is. The recommended level for IP ratings is IP69K. That basically will stop a water from a pressure washer, so to speak. Very, very waterproof. But I would say the minimum is IP67, which is pretty much water resistant. I wouldn't say it's watertight, but it's water resistant. So that would definitely be the minimum, I would say, for 100%. Is, yeah, IP68. I see that, Nikos. Yeah, IP69K is the highest rating. That means you can pressure wash it. So I would say recommended is IP69K. They've got to be mounted in a suitable place where it's going to be safe from damage and screwed securely to a decent standard. I would say nuts, bolts, or stainless steel nuts and bolts. You know, the type of thing that you've got to, the type of device that we're talking, mounted in a suitable place. As I say, speaker levels for sound. Sorry. Speaker is 65 to 88 dBs, and it has to operate only, and it has to not operate, I'm telling a lie, between 11:30 at night and 7 in the morning. And as I say, 3 years is, we've got to stand up to the ground on this. And I think if it is, then we price it in and tell people it's 3 years based on that price being priced in for it as well, and allow for that, so that we can give that customer the peace of mind. Cables, high quality, sealed cables, water resistant, sealed connections, rooted in suitable places where it'll be safe from damaged. And in that case, if you're going to do that, put all the external cable in conduit. Secure it to a standard, like, maybe P-clip it rather than, cable tie it. Hold it up against the other cable. These are the sort of things that you've got to do then to make it stand up to the 3 years. It's not just a case about buying good quality gear. It's actually making sure that your install is done to the 3 year standard as well. I guess I think that's where I'm coming from. If that's okay for me to say that. Displays and DVRs, internal, again, high quality, CE marked or the recommended E marked, securely mounted, cable secured in OEM, original equipment manufacturer spec, installed so as not to obstruct the driver's view of the road, and again, 3 years. 3 years warranty if you can. And the part about it not to install so as to not obstruct the driver's view, I've got my own, tell me if I'm wrong again, I don't mind if you think that it's the wrong thing to say, but when we talk about displays and stuff, you can see that's, I don't really like showing things that I don't really like, but that is the type of display that I would say shouldn't be on a windscreen whatsoever. You shouldn't be able to see yourself on the screen. I just think, what do you think, guys, girls? What do you think? Do you think that is distracting? Because I do. I think that's awful. So that's a rear view, side view, front view, and the driver's view of the driver. I think that should be out definitely. The type of things that I would like to see on the display, if I was looking at a display, will be something like that. I know that's a bit over the thing, but I'm sort of trying to show it properly. But a split view, like a split screen, where when the driver's driving down the road, normally it's either the screen goes completely blank, or it's got a split view. It's got the side view and it's got a rear view. That's handy. It's not, they're two blind areas that you've got on a truck, on a vehicle. And then I suppose that when you then turn the indicator, you get a left-hand view, like you can see there, and then that's your side view, and then your switch view, the rear view is basically on your switch. So if you then put it into reverse, you then get the full screen of the rear camera. Please tell me if that's right. So I'll go back through that again so you can see what I mean. So what you say is you start off with a screen that is either blank or in split view mode. So it either shows it shows half rear view, half side view, as you can see on that screen there. And then when you put the indicator on, you go into side view, and then when you put it into reverse, it then goes to the rear view. So that way, then you've got like a definite, a definite thing that it's an aid to the driver rather than anything else. So the DVR. So again, this question was asked. Well, DVRs, should they be fitted? Well, no, they don't need to be fitted, but I think it's a really, really good value add. But Rob, we're looking at this answer. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Sorry, I'm jumping off the gun. With the DVR and the DVS, do they need DVRs? The answer is no, but if you're doing a value-added sale, then this is what you need to be looking at, because you need to sort of, again, make sure it's high quality, CE marked, recommended E marked. It's got to be securely mounted. One key thing that I've not put up on the slide is that it needs to be accessible for either the transport manager or the driver, owner operator, to be available to it, so he can put a SIM card, an SD card into there, so that he can read the information off there as well. Cable secured OEM to that standard, 30 days of footage. That's what we're talking about. If you are going to do it as a value-added sale, you do 30 days of footage minimum. And you're talking about some big memory there. You're talking about a 1 terabyte, or even possibly, depending on what cameras you've used, possibly a 2 terabyte. Looking at the advice that I got from ParkSafe, they said that you for a 1 HD camera on the front and then having the rest on AHD, you could do with a 2 terabyte hard drive. And again, that's the sort of specification you're looking for to do a good, honest job of it. And again, 3 years. So, any more information on this? As I say, there is a booklet out there that's got most of this information on there. It tells you a bit more about it. Because unfortunately for DVS, there's nothing out there. There's no actual specification. And I will be working my backside off to try and find out a little bit more information again. And we might review it later on in the year, or maybe in a couple of months or something, when we get nearer to that should we say, that deadline of October. So, questions and answers. Oh, this is going to be funny. So, I've got loads of comments. Thank you very much, guys, who have left any comments. So, let's go back through them. I'll have a quick look now. So, we've got... here we go. So, we're talking about... let's start We'll start with Stu. Thank you, Stu, for this one. It would have to, so we talk about this 3-year warranty, it would have to be an additional cost or an option to offer the customer for definite. That would be definite. Yeah, if you want to do it that way, but I just think you should bill it all in. Assure the customer that if you've got your permit for 3 years, then that's how it's going to work. The permit will be for 3 years, and that's it. Yes, so that's the way I would do it, whether you think I'm right or wrong, that's it, really. Of manufacturing offer the backup of us for 3 years, then I think that's fine. Yeah, a lot of companies are doing, just so you're aware, a lot of the companies out there, and I know Brigade and ParkSafe are doing it for definite, they're offering a 3-year warranty with their kit. So my argument is, can we do it if we let the customer know that it's it, and set up the contract straight, that if someone knocks the camera off, that's their fault, and have some clearly defined conditions and stuff. I think you should do it. I think we might be able to do it, no problem at all. Stuart, I thought eMark was for transmitting devices only, otherwise CE was okay. And then I have got an answer. Thank you, Peter. eMark certs are a must for pre-PDI installations. I would only recommend fitting the eMark product in all cases. If not, then always ask the manu for an EMC test report. There you go. That's an answer. I would go with that. I know that a lot of specifications do talk about eMarking, and that e-marking is key for a lot of things, especially when it's pre-registered. And also, if not that these devices do connect into the CAN, but if any of these devices do connect into the CAN, then it is a suggestion that they are E-marked as well. Simon, all interior cameras should be hidden. Yes, they should be hidden. Interior ones, definitely. I totally agree with you, Simon. Yeah. I do left and rear. Yes. You do it on the left and the rear. Yes, good. Thanks, Mark. I do quad screen camera loss for driver. Okay. Driver should not be looking at the screen, Rob. Yeah, I get that. But with the DVS standard, the idea about fitting the camera is so that they can see the blind spots. So that's the whole idea of having the display in line, and it is totally legal as long as it and the wording is we did go through it seriously when we did with the dash cams, seriously obstruct the driver's view of the road. But a camera aid, a driver monitoring aid, is totally allowed and totally acceptable. There you go, Simon. Yeah, screen should show what health and safety you want to see. That is an aid for the driver and nothing else. Yeah. Screen. That's exactly, Simon. Screen should be able to look. Sorry, driver. Driver should be able to look at the screen if it's a driver aid. Yes. Is conduit a must? Well, if you're building it for 3 years, Mark, is it worth taking the chance and, bill it into your system, bill it into the invoicing and tell them the reason you're doing this is this kit is designed to last, it's been warranted for 3 years. I'm going to make sure that it's going to last for 3 years, and I'm going to make sure by putting it in conduit. If or you don't have to. If you have to actually use conduit, use the vehicle conduit. There's plenty of it there as well. You could do that if you wanted to. Yes, I know about the customers not paying for it. I know, Mark, it is a bit of yeah. Totally agree with you, Stuart. If it's my customer, then it's done as standard with this conduit. If it's fitting for someone else, then it's up to them. Totally agree with you, Stuart. Yes, but that is what it is. I know that the standards are out there, and it's a shame that not everybody has got the same level of standards. And that's it, I think, folks. Any more questions or any more comments on board? Have we got any more? My jobs are... Oh, that's a good one. Oh, my jobs all have it. Some contractors are now putting the cost on us. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not good, not good, not good. Well, that's it for tonight, folks. It's been a race through. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hope it's been as enjoyable as normal. I hope you've... Please leave a comment now, and then as I go away, I can chuck it all up and say thank you and stuff. And if there's anyone else that likes to leave any comments before I go, I'll wait a second or so because there is a bit of a lag. There's always a bit of a lag on the thing. No? Good. Well, that's me for tonight. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks ever so much for watching. Do watch again soon. Next week, it's connectors. I think I'm going to revisit connectors again because I've had a load of information about connectors, and I think it's time to do it again. 100% on that. So, thanks very much, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.